Well, I think we could go ahead and get started. Right. Well, welcome everyone to this month's AOT Learning Network web chat for case managers and clinicians, and really any AOT program staff. My name is Brooke, and I serve as AOT Implementation Manager on TAC's AOT Implementation team. And today we're going to engage in an informal discussion on clinical issues, for example, treatment non-adherence or co-occurring substance use. And you're welcome to share a difficult case you might be encountering in your work. Just be sure to refrain from sharing protected health information. And like Amy said, the more engagement we get from y'all, the more beneficial this will be. So if you are open to it and you can, consider turning your camera on. And if you were forwarded this notice and you're not a member of our AOT Learning Network, I ask you to consider joining for more free events like this one. And I'll drop the chat to join in, or I'll drop the link in the chat once we get started. And then just a note that this chat is being recorded and will be posted publicly to Treatment Advocacy Center's YouTube channel and shared with you all as a resource over email sometime next week. So let's get started. I'm going to have those members of the TAC team who are on introduce themselves first, and then we'll go around Hollywood Squares style and you all can introduce yourselves. So Amy, why don't you kick us off?
Hello, everyone. My name is Amy Lukes. I think I said that already. Anyway, I'm a social worker by training. My expertise is in community mental health. And I worked for many years with the people that AOT is meant to serve. And the organization, the county that I worked in did use court orders. Considerably. So that's my experience. Thanks, Brooke.
Thanks, Amy. Jared.
Hi everyone, I'm Jared. I am our senior AOT advisor. I work on our training resources for AOT programs, and I served this population in a state hospital in Virginia for 5 years, working as a spiritual care provider. It's good to be with you all.
Thanks, Jared. Sarah.
Hey everybody, my name's Sarah and I am an attorney on the AOT implementation team. And part of my background includes oversight of a really large AOT program in Hamilton County, Ohio, which is the Cincinnati area. So good to see everyone today.
Thank you, Sarah. And last but not least, Shanti.
The research advisor on the team, and great to see you all.
Well, like I said, we're going to go around Hollywood Squares style. So the first person I see, oh, and sorry, I didn't even tell you all what you're supposed to say. If you could please share your name, your location, and your role, that would be great. The first person I see on my screen is Adriana Rodriguez.
Sorry. Good afternoon. My name is Adriana Rodriguez. I'm from Laredo, Texas, and I'm a caseworker.
Thank you, Adriana. Next, Deborah York.
Hi, I'm Deborah York from Mobile, Alabama, and I'm a therapist with assisted outpatient treatment.
From Deborah. Edgar Palomino.
Hi, I am in Hays County, Texas, and I am a case manager.
Welcome, Edgar. Jacqueline Charles.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline Charles. I'm here located in Laredo, Texas, and I am a caseworker.
Laredo representing. Right. Tasia Yara, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced that.
Hi, my name is Tasia Yada. I'm a behavioral health therapist supervisor, and I'm in New Mexico. I work for the outpatient state hospital community-based services.
Lauren Hyatt.
Hey y'all, I'm Lauren Hyatt. We are down here in Houma, Louisiana, which is Terrebonne Parish. I am the program director. I was hired as the case manager. Things have escalated quickly, and so now I'm the program director. We're a brand new program here, so I'm really looking forward to, hearing and learning everything like a little sponge. Nice to meet y'all.
Joining Lauren. That is kind of an escalation. But congratulations on the role. Next I see Anahi Rodriguez.
Hello, my name is Anaí Rodriguez. I'm a case manager in Laredo, Texas.
Right, another Laredo person. Shout out to Laredo. All right, Jessica Nye.
Hi, my name's Jessica. I am a case manager in a county prison in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and I work with our MAT population doing some drug and alcohol counseling, their case management, as well as the entire population for reentry services.
Thank you, Jessica. I think you've joined us quite a few times before, so it's good to see you. Also good to see you again, Nilofer Isfan. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nilofer Isfan. I'm an AOT evaluator. As part of our evaluation, we are interviewing and having focus groups with providers and clinicians working on AOT. So I'm here to learn from you, just to listen and learn.
Thank you, Nilofer. Next on my screen is Eunice Brookins.
Hello, my name is pronounced Eunice Brookins. I get it all the time, so it's okay.
Sorry about that, Eunice.
I'm a commitment coordinator for Alta Point in Mobile, Alabama.
Amazing. Thanks for joining us. And Devin Bruce.
Hi, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, I am the evaluator monitor for the Terrebonne AOT. I am with Lauren, who just became director, and she's doing an amazing job, by the way. So shout out to her. And yes, so we have now approval to take our first client. So we are fixing to roll fast.
Awesome. I just lost where I was, but okay. Sorry about that, y'all. Grace Tucker. Grace, if you are talking, we can't hear you.
I'm sorry, I thought that I had unmuted myself. I'm just a psychosocial rehabilitation specialist in Denton County.
So sorry, just is not an appropriate word. You are a valued part of your treatment team. I know it.
Well, thank you.
And Jorge.
Hi, yes, I'm Jorge. I'm an engagement specialist at Porter Stark in Valparaiso, Indiana.
Screen is Ben.
Hello, I'm Ben Sawaki. I'm in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and I am an AOT evaluator. I work with Nilofer, and also a former ACT team case manager in another life. But here for the same reasons, just want to listen in and learn more about AOT.
Awesome. Welcome, Ben. Daniel C. to start.
Hi, everyone. My name is Daniel Carrillo. I'm from Laredo, Texas, and I am the LPCA, Licensed Professional Counselor Associate, here in my AOT program.
Daniel, you're a little or your audio is a little low, but I got that. Um, thank you, Daniel. Abigail.
My name is Abigail Freese, and I am the AOT liaison case manager, jack of all trades in Manhattan, Kansas.
Amazing. Thank you, Abigail. Todd, good to see you on here, Todd.
Hello, everyone. Sorry, I'm kind of multitasking today. It's great to be here. I'm Todd Van Buskirk. I am a director of integrated care in Valparaiso, Indiana. So it's great to be with you all.
Thank you, Todd. Sorry, just finding where I was. Okay, Daniel G this time. Daniel Grant, if you're here, we cannot hear you. We will come back to you, and you're also welcome to introduce yourself in the chat. Cindy Simpson.
Oh, sorry. Hi there. My name's Cindy Simpson. I'm in Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, and I am the AOT coordinator and liaison. We do not yet have a program. We're just in the very early stages of developing ours, and hopefully pretty soon we'll get rolling. But I am here to get as much experience to help that process as possible. So thank you.
Amazing. Welcome, Cindy. And Catherine Smith. Catherine, we cannot hear you if you're introducing yourself. No worries. Feel free to jump in later or put your introduction in the chat. Selena Valdez.
Sorry, I was trying to figure out how to unmute. Hi, I'm Selena. I am with the AOT program here in Tarrant County, Fort Worth, Texas, and I'm a case manager.
Amazing. Welcome, Selena. Christopher Bailey, I see that you put your introduction in the chat. Thank you for that. David Gonzalez. David, if you're here, we can't hear you. But feel free to jump in at any time or put your introduction in the chat. And then last but not least, I believe our phone person is Linda. But before I have Linda introduce herself, I just wanted to check and make sure I did not miss anyone. So speak now. Alrighty. Well, if you've joined our chats before, you know that when we can, we like to have an AOT practitioner kick off the discussion by sharing a little bit about their community. And so today we're thankful to have Linda Stafford, who is the AOT team lead for the Augusta, Georgia AOT program, share a little bit with us about her program and the balance between the role of the treatment team and the role of the judge in court. So thank you so much, Linda. The floor is yours.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm glad that I get to be here with you guys and kind of brainstorm some, see what you guys are doing, and see if see if there's any ways that we could improve. So for us, we did not have a ton of support at the start of our program. I would say for the first, I guess, year or two, I believe the first 2 years, we had a judge that was present, but there wasn't a ton of kind of initiation on their part, and if we had questions and things like that, there wasn't a ton of kind of effort on the court's part to kind of engage. So we're glad we've got kind of a change that's happened in administration there. And luckily we had a lot of support from the state to try to assist us in understanding more, as well as the TAC team. And I've definitely tried to reach out, and they are always, all of those resources are always very much available and supportive to try to, do this thing the best I can and the best we can for AOT. So I would say for us, since we've kind of reestablished more with our new judge, there's been a lot more engagement. We've discussed policies that can be in place to support individuals that are on an outpatient commitment order, which is what we call individuals that are court ordered through the probate court in our program. So we've had programs that are ways that we can utilize that court order to support our individuals in a more quick fashion. If they begin decompensating, we have also installed in the order that there's a built-in time for check-in or a status hearing with the courts upon initiation of any of the orders, and if an individual is discharged from the hospital. So that's been really good, having those status hearings and just a lot of follow-up with the judge. On my part as a clinician, I try to make sure that I am always prepared to educate the public, the law enforcement, as well as anyone with the probate court office. Our judge was brand new, our newest one to the probate court, and definitely to mental health with the probate court. So there was kind of a learning curve there, but luckily she had some really helpful staff that kind of helped us to support her in gaining ground with this program. She also has really good support amongst peer judges in Georgia. And so that has been really good. We have a judge called Judge D'Antonio, and he is awesome, and he provides a lot of support and is always willing to answer the phone for me, for the judge, for the judge's staff, lawyers, anything. It's always just willing and open to teach. And so that has been very, very helpful in order to kind of sculpt this thing into the most effective form that we can have it. So when it comes to the differentiation between court and treatment, we try to use evidence-based practices. Currently, we use a good bit of LEAP, or listen, empathize, agree, partner. And we also use recovery-oriented cognitive therapy. I'm actually certified in that. And generally, I try to get any staff that's on the team certified with that therapy. I've also provided a lot of information related to CBT for psychosis to staff, and I'm willing to provide that to anyone who would like that information, whether it's family members, court staff, anybody, the lawyers, just to kind of help them to kind of maybe see the best and most supportive way to communicate with our individuals if there's any issues with that, and the best way to support people. From my standpoint as a clinician, I think our job the number one job is to try to support the individual in fulfilling their goals, and their personally identified goals and what inspires them. And in the process, generally what I found was while we're doing that, it's a lot easier and it's a lot more effective to when we're working on the individual's goals to also be doing working on the AOT, like compliance with medication, attendance at appointments, things like that. But I think it really starts with building a relationship with the individuals, and supporting them in what they would like to do, and trying to continually support them in maybe better understanding how treatment can be beneficial to them, and supportive. And like I said, most of the time, the way we try to do that is through use of evidence-based practices. So that's kind of all I have.
Thank you so much, Linda. And I did have an ulterior motive in asking Linda to share, which is that, we at TAC asked us the same question during our judges chat of judges to kind of discuss perhaps boundaries or situations where judges or the court is maybe infringing upon like clinical or treatment team responsibilities, and also that could happen vice versa. And so we want these chats to be a space where you all are here to talk about whatever you want to talk about, and address any barriers or challenges or things you just would love to crowdsource with your peers. But if you don't have anything, we do have this topic of kind of the maintaining that, I'm going to use Amy's word, equilibrium between the treatment team, the judge, and the court, and what is helpful for the judge to know and do to support the treatment team, and what's not as helpful. So thank you so much, Linda. But with that, I'm going to open it up and just see if anyone has any burning questions for the group.
And just to let you know, you don't have to raise your hand, just unmute and speak up.
Well, it's the end of the week, and people might be feeling a little shy and tired. So, let's see here. Adriana, you said you were a case manager in the Laredo program, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm curious. Do you go to court with participants ever?
Usually the people that go to court with the participants is the court liaison.
So if you have court liaison, that's great. Thank you.
Yes. We do meet with the court liaison to provide like updates, like so that she can like advocate for the participant during the court meeting and discuss like progress. So we do have the communication, like she does meet with each one of us case managers, and we talk about each participant with her, and she'll go ahead and report what was discussed.
Thank you. That makes sense. That's great. I'm curious about others, if there's, I guess, other case managers on the call I think it's fantastic that there is a court liaison in the Laredo program, but if your work as a case manager overlaps with what's happening in the court at all.
I attend with my clients every continuity of care update hearing. So I'll meet with them before and I'll attend along with them, and then if it doesn't go that well or they have questions, I'll talk to them about that.
Got it. So you're kind of acting in that court liaison role in those instances. It's great, Grace.
Yes, we do have court liaisons, but they work with clients who haven't necessarily been court ordered yet. So I only get involved once they're in the program.
So, Grace, I'm just curious, when you say when it doesn't go that well, what does that mean?
Sometimes clients will tell the judge that they aren't going to take their medication, that they don't belong here, that it's infringing on their rights. The judge kind of has to remind them why they are there, and what kind of things could happen if they don't follow their treatment plan. So that's the main thing.
Got it. That makes perfect sense.
So how often? So I'm coming from juvenile probation and parole in Louisiana, and actually we're only the second program in the state of Louisiana to be doing AOT. So when I say that we're out here in the water, trying to figure this out. But as a juvenile probation parole officer, we were kind of case manager. We were doing all the things. So how often as case managers, are y'all speaking to the client, and, kind of what are those conversations like? Or is that more just for the treatment team to be doing and getting kind of those updates? How do y'all kind of navigate that day to day as a case manager?
So
For me, oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to clarify that I would say most of the case managers are part of the treatment team. But go ahead. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
For our program, we meet with the clients twice a week, unless they choose to engage with the AOT therapist or AOT peer support specialist. If they don't want to see those other people, then they need to meet with us twice a week. And a lot of the time it's going over their goals, how they want to reach them, education on their diagnosis. If they don't have really any insight on their diagnosis, which a lot of them believe they don't have any mental health issues, we'll focus on other goals in their life, like their physical health or their employment or housing or whatever it is that they want to reach. And it's a good time for me to kind of monitor their symptoms, and see what their thought content is kind of like.
Awesome. And is this face to face? Well, I would assume, since you're saying that you're kind of seeing how their symptoms are and everything. So this is face to face twice a week that you do that?
I try to. If I can't, at least one has to be face to face. And the other one can be a telephone call. But I'll also sit in with them on their doctor appointments too. So I'm in the know if there's like any medication changes or if there's any issues between the doctor and client that we can work out.
I'm curious, Grace, if the 2 times a week is kind of perpetual, no matter how the person is doing in their recovery, or if maybe you would meet more or less often if they're doing better or if they're struggling. More often would be a lot, but I guess my question is more, would you meet with someone less often if they were really engaged in their treatment?
So that's how it was in just adult mental health case management. But with this, it's twice a week. But I mean the second check-in could be 15 minutes and talking about what they're gonna plan for the weekend and if they want to do a short-term goal or something. But a good amount want counseling. So I mean, for a few of them, I do only see them once a week, unless they happen to have a doctor appointment that I also sit in on.
Grace, I don't mean to keep on picking on you, but I have a question about your face-to-faces. Are those ever out in the community at their home or somewhere else, or are those at your office? And related to that, do you have any problems getting them to show up?
I will go out into the community to their homes if they aren't showing up to the office consistently, or if they want to meet out in the community. With one client, I'll take walks with them. So we're not necessarily in
Estimate on the porch.
a house or anything. And otherwise, I'll try to catch them at the office just so they don't have to travel up here again. I try to meet them wherever they're at, so it's most convenient and they're more likely to engage in the appointment.
Hi, I'm a caseworker here from Laredo, Texas. What we do when we get new participants is that the first time that they come into the office after attending court, we do what we call a wraparound. So we have our supervisor, the caseworker for the participant, we have the counselor, we have the court liaison, we have the medical office assistant. Everybody introduces themselves and what role they play on the participants' recovery. And after we introduce, we talked to them a little bit. My supervisor asked questions, for example, when being hospitalized at the mental hospital, what is it that you like from it and what didn't you like? So we know a little bit more about what they liked in their plan when they were there. And then after several minutes, the caseworker, in this case, for example, myself and the participant come into my office and we started going over the AOT handbook. We go over the HIPAA release forms if they want to have anyone else involved in their family in their treatment. I know that the medical office assistants, when they meet with the participant, sometimes after the caseworker, they go over the forms for the telehealth to meet the psychiatrist. And they get information like what medication they are taking. And that's what we do also. Depending on every participant is different, we could also already have an idea or start talking to them about their goal. And then after that, I do explain to them, for example, here in Laredo, we do meet with them twice a week, the caseworkers. And then the counselor, if they decide to see the counselor, they do meet once a week, or it could be more depending on what the participant needs. And if they do want to see our psychiatrist, we do that appointment, and depending on how often the psychiatrist wants to meet with a participant, that's how they are scheduled. And the other 3 days that we don't see the caseworkers, the participant, we do give them a call or text them to follow up to see how they're doing. And depending on their progress, we do lower their, instead of 2 visits a week, it'll be 1, or instead of the 3 texts per week, could be 2. But it doesn't happen one to another or within a month. Gradually, we start lowering the intensive case management.
That's super helpful, Jacqueline, and it sounds really comprehensive. And so you said that once you start and when you're doing the 2 contacts a week, that the meeting with the psychiatrist is not included in that. So there would be 3, or the counselor, there would be 3 if.
Well, what we try to do, what we try to do here in Laredo is that, for example, if today, Thursday, they're coming to see me for case management, we schedule them also for our counselor. Why? So instead of them coming 3 different days out of the week, they come 2. One, let's say Thursday with the caseworker and the counselor, let's say Friday with the caseworker. So instead of them doing so many trips, they can see 2 at the same time. Also, when they have a doctor's appointment, we do have some participants, in my case, that see the caseworker, see the counselor, and the psychiatrist, depending on what works best for them. We try to work around what works for them, because we do not want to discourage them, like, no, you need to come Monday for doctor, Tuesday for counselor, Wednesday for caseworker, and Thursday for caseworker. So yeah, and also we do home visits. If they don't have transportation, we are able to go, or now our supervisor was able to get bus passes for participants. So the bus pass, for example, we give them one, and then they can use a bus pass the whole day, but they do need to come to our appointment, and then we can give them another one for the next appointment or for court. So yes, we also at times do Zoom sessions if they're not able to come, or they don't want us to go to their home, but mostly everybody comes here. I don't know if you have any other questions.
No, that was helpful. And the bus pass thing, the fact that the pass could be used all day, is an incentive. That's great.
Yes, it's free. We work with the Laredo Public Health Department, so we work with the city of Laredo. So maybe that was also helpful to get those bus passes for them.
That's great. Do others want to share about kind of for Lauren and any other newer implementers, how it works in their community?
I guess I could say something.
Go ahead, Mary.
Oh, goody. Well, I'm Mary Alonso, and we're a new AOT program. We're in Albuquerque. So we're, I guess, yeah, I guess we started in July, but we're just now really, getting clients who work to make contact with other agencies and other agencies, and to get referrals. So that's where we're pretty new, but we're excited and just hoping we can do well for our clients. And it's some are difficult. They were not compliant, and so that's a challenge. But we're going to keep at it.
Thank you, Mary, and congratulations on y'all, I guess, kind of re-kicking off. I I think you bring up a good point about engagement and how to engage clients. I'm curious if anyone has, I know Amy is a fan of mentioning the hamburger outreach, but I'm curious if anyone has any other creative strategies they use to get clients to kind of show up for you.
Well, when I was a case manager before, I had a lot of freedom on the position I had. So, I mean, I would take them out for, McDonald's or whatever, and first, and it really helped a lot to, uh, just to get to know each other and build up the trust. So yeah, so I'm hoping to do that with some of the clients that we have. What was it called? Hamburger what?
The hamburger outreach.
Okay.
Others thoughts on engaging clients and any secrets you've been holding close to your chest on that?
A really cool option that I was able to get, Pawnee was able, we live really close to Tuttle Creek Lake. We were able to get fishing passes. We were able to get state lake parks so we can go in and out as much as we want with clients to the state lakes. And they were able to do it for all of us. So that was really cool. So we can go out into nature to any state park around this area and take all the clients as we please. And they love it.
That's amazing. Is that, Abigail, do you know how that started? Was that a partnership with
It was a partnership with the Wildlife Game Commission. One of our peers actually got it started because they wanted to do fishing groups, which we also offer. We offer fishing groups and hiking groups and just really holistic natural nature approaches here. There's so much nature here. So our one peer, he's just a beautiful man who does beautiful work for these clients. He was able to convince Wild and Game to give us these tickets.
That's amazing. I've actually not heard of that before specifically, so
yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. I know years ago I was able to get, I don't know how many, probably maybe about at least 4 clients together for a picnic. So that was okay. Yeah.
as a fan of picnics, I love to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and we also were able to get group passes to our zoo. We did collaborate with our zoo, so we have to give them a little bit of a warning that we're coming, but we can take clients in and out of the zoo for free with a warning. So that was also a really cool step that our peer did as well.
Yeah.
That's great. I don't know how it is in Pawnee, but the zoo tickets are not cheap. So
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's a really cool place to be. Our zoo's little, but it is mighty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something that we do here in Georgia and Augusta is I have like footballs and basketballs. So we can throw footballs, or if they have like a basketball area, like in there wherever they're living at, or somewhere near at a gym, we can, play some basketball for a couple minutes. And a lot of times that or a short walk or throwing the football really helps people to start kind of gaining that energy needed to engage a little bit.
that's a really, really fantastic idea and tool, Linda. I feel like just having those on hand kind of it also, I imagine it's easier to break the ice a little bit when you have a task that you're doing with that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and everybody's kind of got their preference. So that's one of the first things we try to do is figure out what is interesting to each person, whether it's making music or exercising or listening to music. You know, we try to figure out as much as we can so we can kind of support that and go in that way.
Yeah, and that makes me think of something that Grace said earlier, which was, you know, if you're working with a client or a participant that is lacking insight into their illness and kind of struggling to identify goals related to their treatment, that talking about their goals that are just general life goals is kind of a good in. And I think that's related to interests. You know, if someone wants to get in shape, if they want to do X, Y, or Z, can you help them make the connection between engaging in treatment and reaching that life goal? Others, engagement strategies, or any other questions, comments you might have?
I also have.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. The other thing is I always have snacks in my office, so that's like an easy way to like try to, because I feel like a lot of our people are getting pulled in a lot of directions because they're in multiple programs and things like that. So it's a lot easier to say, hey, do you want to go get a snack real quick, or a drink, than it is to be like, hey, let's go do a session. You know, that's not exciting for them a lot of times. So that's one way I'll kind of go around that too.
Thank you, Adriana, you were saying something.
Yes. So I think that what's really important to engage the participants, which is something that we do as case managers, is that having that consistency with them, like whether it's phone calls or the visits, like having that consistency is key as well, because like let's say that you say to your participant that you're gonna call them, but you don't call them, right? So, or like, so there's no consistency, right? So, it's important to have like that trust, that like building that rapport, and also being available. Like, sometimes you gotta meet with them where they are, like whether it be at their home, whether it be at a community setting, here in the office. So, um, for example, we do work with the City of Laredo Health Department, so we do have another office in another part of the city, where some of our clients, they live closer to that office. So we work with those participants that live closer. We travel to that office to meet with them there. So that's something that we work with them. That helps them as well, because some of them, they do struggle with transportation, or they lack, money for gas, or that they need to use it for other things, right? And in reality, like 2 times a week to come into all the way over here to the other side of town, right? It can be a lot. So we do work with them in that sense as well. So having that consistency, like meeting with them wherever they are, and also building that trust and rapport. Praising them is also a good way to keep your clients engaged. So those are some things that I noticed that help the participants as well.
Thank you, Adriana. That is huge. I mean, what you said about consistency, I think trust is hard to build and easy to break. And that, um, you know, if someone knows that you're reliable and you're going to follow through on your promises to them, they may feel more inclined to follow through on their promises to you. So I think that's really a really important point.
And I think another important point that you made is to celebrate successes. And when you do that, you don't want to wait necessarily for a huge breakthrough. Sometimes success is that someone opens the door to you, and you need to celebrate that. I mean, you don't bring a cake and streamers and all that, but to praise liberally, I think is so important with this population.
Sorry,
Insane.
you took me out of the Zoom meeting, so I don't know what I missed.
Oh
Like
no, we were you're good. We were just saying that your points were really good.
thank you.
Um, yeah, the consistency and the celebrating the successes, like what you mentioned about praising. So that was great. Um, well, we don't have a ton of time left, and I just want to make sure that if anyone has kind of a specific situation that they are think that the group could be helpful on, or other questions, that we have a chance for those. No pressure. You have more questions, Lauren?
I mean, I could do this all day. I could ask a million questions. But no, all that was fantastic. Man, I love that y'all are really getting out there in nature and everything else. That's a really awesome idea. Um, Granted, it's a million degrees here and the mosquitoes may carry you off. It's a really great idea. What do y'all's caseloads look like? Because I think it sounds great that y'all are meeting with them so frequently, but like, what is that typical caseload number looking like?
Great question.
For full-time case managers, we will get up to 10, and that's the cutoff.
And that's just AOT, right, Grace?
Yes. Yeah. Um, and we we're very much team oriented, so it's if I can't go pick up a client and another team member can, they can go pick them up while I'm finishing up with a client and then meet them. So um, the the people do know everyone in the team, so they're familiar. And some stranger isn't just picking them up.
Thank you, Grace.
Ours in
Others?
Augusta are 25.
And that's your program max, right, Linda? Not if you had multiple, because you have one if you had multiple case managers, they wouldn't each have 25.
So technically, that's how we've kind of been doing it. Now, like if one, so when we had two staff on, if one of the staff was like kind of had a better rapport with an individual, we may like change that, you know. But that's kind of how we do it around here.
For us, we are three case managers, and we should have about 10 as well, each of us. But right now, I have five, and I believe the other one may have five, and the other one six. So we haven't like maxed at 10, but we should have. The goal is to have 10 participants each.
I think I'm sorry, go ahead.
No,
I
I'm
think
done.
okay. I think what you'll see is that for those programs that are using SAMHSA grant dollars, that they have much lower caseloads than those programs that don't have SAMHSA dollars. So just in my experience, when I was a case manager and I had AOT people on my caseload, first of all, not all of them were on AOT. So I had some on court order, some not. I had a pretty wide range of acuity, some really sick, some needing minimal support, and I had 35 to 40.
Someone mentioned earlier that y'all were picking them up. Does that mean the case manager was physically taking their vehicle and picking the clients up?
Oh yeah, I did that all the time.
There's company cars allotted to it. And if a client wasn't known well, another case manager would go with them.
So in our case, since we are city employees, we are not allowed to use our personal cars. But like I said, we do try to meet with them wherever it works for them, like whether it be in the community or their home, or a lot of them do come into their office, but that's why we did provide that option of the bus passes.
Yeah, we actually here at Claire Vita, there's a couple, like there's like two programs that actually have like cars, but like not every employee has a car. I don't think in any of our levels of care or departments. So generally we do use our personal cars, and they reimburse us for mileage and stuff like that. But I kind of try to use it as like an engagement strategy. Like since I have Apple Music, I'll be like, what do you want to listen to? And then so we'll listen to music. Or if they don't want to listen to music, we won't listen to music. And things like that.
That's great, Linda. For some reason, when you said you used it as an engagement strategy, I was imagining that you drove like a Maserati or something, like you drove a fancy car, and that was what got people to go with you. But upon any further thought, that wouldn't make sense.
I wish that was the case, but we try to make it feel like one.
Well, we're at the hour. This has been really, really great, and some awesome nuggets of knowledge shared and good information. And I appreciate you all and your time and your interest and participation. Final last call for comments, questions, concerns.
When's the next one?
Oh, I should have had that up. Just a second, Amy.
Well, the reason I ask is because Cindy asked a great question and about how do you use natural supports? And I think that is an awesome question. And I want to invite you all back to share how you're using natural supports in your work.
Yeah, I think that we could go ahead and say that is the topic for the next chat. We will not be having our next chat until actually 2026, sadly.
What?
Yeah, it's true. That will be, let's see, Champions is. You know what? I don't want to keep y'all. I will include it in the follow-up email, so you can join if you're interested. But thank you so much again for joining, and everybody have a fantastic rest of your day and a good weekend.